loves! Today we're going to talk about the A to Z's of journaling. I've been journaling for the past 5-6 years, very inconsistently, but recently it's gotten a lot better. And journaling for me has always been a tool for self-reflection. And looking back at my journals, looking back at the things that brought me joy and the things that brought me sadness, it just helps me understand myself better. So here are the reasons why I absolutely love journaling and how you can fall in love with it as well. Like I said, it's a great tool for self-reflection. You can understand your thoughts, your feelings, putting them into words just gives you more clarity, and understanding and identifying patterns becomes so much easier. There's a root cause of why I'm always upset, or there's a root cause of why I'm happy, and that cause keeps repeating, so the root is the same, and identifying that becomes so much easier once you start journaling. Secondly, memories. I have journals from when I was in 7th grade, and I wouldn't replace those for the world. And just having that knowledge about my 11-year-old self completely, perfectly intact is the best thing I could have ever done. Whether it's talking about the things that I now find stupid, or things that I think that make me genius, it's just having like a whole box of who you were and who you are and who you wanted to be and how far you've come. Those memories are irreplaceable. Thirdly, it's the easiest outlet to vent. Your feelings are overwhelming, they're constantly in overdrive. Your journal acts like a box that you pull your thoughts out and dump into, and it's all yours. No one ever has to see it. People can see it. Even, having it for the people you love to identify you better is beautiful. I have realized things about myself through journaling that I would have never realized had I not written them down, because like I said, it gives you a sense of clarity that first of all you didn't know you needed, and second of all you didn't know you could have. So journaling is life-changing. And lastly, it's like having a notebook of all the things that matter, the things that bring me joy, the things that bring me sadness, the things that brought me joy, the people I love. It's like having a notebook of who I am compressed into pages, and it's my whole life, right? It's everything. And getting to not only look back into that, but write that and share that is, I have no words. It's literally my favorite thing in the world. I love bullet journaling, I love gratitude journaling, I love prompt journaling, I love daily journaling, and I love brain dumps. So let me explain them to you very briefly. Bullet journaling is a tracker. It's a planner that you do on paper. It's a physical planner, and it can be whatever you want. My bullet journal had everything, but mainly people use it for habit trackers and to-do lists and things they need to plan, whether it's reading lists or work or content creation or study. You can find amazing videos for bullet journaling. I'll link some down below. And I don't bullet journal anymore, but when I did, it was one of the most beautiful experiences. Secondly, gratitude. I am a huge believer that you attract what you're thinking about, and being grateful and thankful for the things that are already in your life not only means that you attract more of them, but it also means you're a happier person. If I'm sitting and writing gratitude every single day, my mind is forced to think of new things to be grateful for, and I start writing my gratitude every single day. I started with one line, one thing to be grateful for, and now I write a page a day, which is a lot, but it's the best. Sometimes things get repeated, everything is fine. It's your personal list of happiness to look back into. Thirdly, brain dumps. I do these very infrequently, so whenever I'm very overwhelmed, I violently type everything that's bothering me, and it ends up being like 2,000 words of stress. And just getting that out of my system is so relieving. You can do this physically, get a planner that you just write in when you're upset or when you're overwhelmed. But personally, for me, I lose journals very easily, especially ones that I'm not frequently using. So it's very important for me to make this digital. Fourthly, prompt journaling, which also I do every day. It's basically writing a prompt and trying to write about it. Every day you get a new prompt, whether it's how are you feeling, what is annoying you, what is bothering you, something as simple as this, or what are your views on death, and what sort of traditions do you want to leave behind, or what are the values you want to inculcate into yourself or into your future. And questioning yourself about that, like how 8th grade me would have answered this and how now college me answered it, is an amazing comparison to draw. And fifthly is one line a day. And one line a day journals are basically, they can be daily journals as well. So what you do is, either you can buy them online or you can just make your own. You write the date and you force yourself to just write one line every single day. Whether it's how you're feeling, whether it's a line of gratitude. Just having a line for 365 days and looking back at how your day went is an amazing feeling. Here's how you can fall in love with journaling. The most difficult thing about journaling is being consistent. Since I've been doing it for 5 years, here are my tips and tricks on how to be consistent with journaling. So first of all, stop when you're excited. When you journal on your first day and you're getting into the groove of it and you have a lot to say, stop. It makes you want to write the next day. It seems like stupid advice because I'm in the groove of it. Why would I stop? But the second you feel like you have nothing to talk about, you don't feel like doing it anymore. So if you're in the groove and you're pumped up and your pen isn't stopping, force it. Put a full stop and come back to it the next day. Secondly, count your days. For me, setting challenges for myself, like, oh, I'm going to journal consistently for a week or for 40 days or 50 days is very important, because getting that tick mark every single day is the best feeling, especially when you're at 40. I've done 40. I'm like so proud of myself. But the second I do 40, then I like sort of lose track. So just set countdowns for yourself in days. Very, very useful. Thirdly, set a fixed time. Usually this, for me, it was the first thing I did in the morning, right? I would clean up, brush my teeth and everything, come out and journal. And habit stacking is something that allows you to associate a previous habit with a new habit. Atomic habits. So use one of your existing habits, whether it's brushing your teeth in the morning or making your bed, and stack journaling on top of it. Be like, the second I brush my teeth, I'm going to sit down with my journal and write. Or the second I get into bed before going to sleep, I'm going to pick up my journal and write a line. So stack your journaling with another existing habit. Fourthly, don't push yourself to do more than you can handle. When I started journaling, I was like, oh my god, I'm going to write a page every single day. And initially it was fine, but then after a while, some days I just didn't have time, or some days you just don't feel like it. And having that pressure of filling the entire page was so overwhelming. So please don't put any pressure on yourself. It's fine if you skip a few days. It's fine if you can't write that extra line. It's fine if you write 4 lines someday. Just make sure that you're doing it consistently. Fifthly, explore different types of journals. I've given you a huge list. Figure out what you love, because that means it's easier to stick to. 6, buy a journal you love and want to use. I have a collection of the most beautiful journals, and honestly, they motivate me to write, because looking at something so pretty every single morning or every time before you go to sleep, you want that to be a part of your memories. So pick a journal that resonates with you, that makes you happy. Add tiny things that bring you joy, whether it's making sure that you journal with a cup of green tea in your favorite mug, or with a pen you really love, or doing it with your sibling, or having stickers. Just add tiny additional rewards to journaling, and not even rewards, associate activities. And trust me, that's going to make you want to journal. Lastly, please look back on your journals. I made the huge mistake of writing for 5 years and never reflecting, and it came back and it did not serve me well, because even though I have all those memories, I know I have them, I've never really sat down and gone back to look at them. And now that I started doing it, it's so funny most of the time, and it's so hilarious to look at who I was and what I wanted to be and who I am now. And sometimes it's so rewarding, because you will not believe the immense amount of growth you have as a person, and just having a time by time stamp of it is the best feeling in the world. Okay, so lastly, the one question I get a lot is digital versus physical journals. I know you're going to hate me for saying this, but it's a very, very personal choice. Some people find it easier to maintain a digital journal, and some people find it easier to maintain a physical journal. For me, since I journal so much, I now have like a hybrid thing. My gratitude and some things that I write every day, my one-liners are all digital. My brain dump is digital. Only my prompt today is physical, which makes it easier for me to maintain everything. But personally, for me, I think I'll always have a soft spot for physical journals, because not only do you have memories in your own handwriting and how that's constantly changing, it also gives you some slow down time. Like if you're journaling first thing in the morning and you have to do it on your laptop, it just sort of pushes you into the day. But getting to do that slowly with your own pace on paper with a pen that you're not used to, that just sort of allows you to calm down. The benefits of having digital journals are obviously, first of all, they're not perishable, right? They can get deleted and everything, but if you're careful and you're good with technology, you're not going to lose them. Secondly, they're easy. In bed at night, it's easier to type than to write. 1000%. You can do it on the go when you're going to work, when you're traveling, it's just easy to use. 1000%. But it's not personal. It's kind of, it becomes a task. I've noticed with my digital journals, they just sort of feel like I'm doing it for the sake of doing it. And reflecting isn't even half as much fun, because looking back at how your handwriting changes, and sometimes you form bigger loops when you're angry, or you have more words in a line when you're like, it's those tiny things mean a huge deal to me. I think, like I said, if you're trying to journal multiple things, go ahead, do like a hybrid thing, 1000%, but try both. Trial and error always works. If you're trying out multiple types of journals, why not try out the difference between digital and physical, and tell me what works for you in the comment section below. I love you. Thank you so much for loving me, and I'm so grateful that I get to create content for all of you. It makes me so happy. I learn so many things about the world and about myself. And subscribe, like, share, comment, send some love, and I love you. Thank you so much for watching.